data to inform practice. Articles used in this literature review include a variety of articles by Wayman, who outlines the effects on data-driven decision-making. Other authors include Mandinash, Skillcamp, and Klanowski. Many other authors were included throughout this review to gain further insights into the effect of data use. Technology tools needed for collection and analysis of data. Skillcamp suggests investing in technology may be crucial for the effective data use, as it has been identified that data use in schools may be hindered by ineffective data systems. Skillcamp, Mandinash and Wayman state technology tools that facilitate the analysis of data can lead to the identification of at-risk students. Across Australia, the Early Years Assessment Database has been implemented to provide teachers with information on students' growth in literacy. Another software program is the New South Wales Smart Toolkit, which Unsworth states is used for reporting and analysing data on NAPLAN. Wayman supports the view on the use of technology for data evaluation. However, he discusses how the emerging technology is changing the perception of data-rich schools being information poor, due to the vast amount of data being inaccessible to educators. Shen, Heritage and Lee also state successful use of data is reliant on data storage, and due to technology systems being complex, professional learning opportunities should be provided. The use of data for accountability systems. From the literature, there are mixed views on whether increased accountability improves student learning outcomes. Aaron and Swanburn state that accountability systems have been introduced in education to monitor the performance of teachers and schools to provide them with data to improve. In contrast, Mandinash highlights the importance of data use for continuous improvement, not to hold teachers and schools accountable. Accountability has been known to lead to strategic responses in schools. Klanowski and Wyatt-Smith highlights how teachers provide students assistance during NAPLAN or children are being advised to stay at home. The My School website is an example of an accountability system used in Australia to evaluate schools' performance. However, Gora states the limitations of NAPLAN, as it isn't a complete, reliable evaluation of students' ability or schools' effectiveness. In the US, through the No Child Left Behind Act, it allowed policymakers to use tests in order to discover which schools are fulfilling their responsibilities. The development of teacher knowledge and skills to effectively use data. A key component of data-driven decision-making is the need to improve human capacity around data use. Mandinash states the importance of pedagogical data literacy, where teachers transform the data into instructional strategies that meet the needs of the kids. Mandinash and Skillcamp and Cooper highlight the challenge facing schools is the small amount of professional development around data-driven decision-making, and professional development is effective in improving students' learning. Skillcamp further states the need of school leaders and teachers to gather data about their students and their own practices to use this to identify the challenges that they are experiencing. With the increased pressures in Australia based on accountability in regards to standardised testing, such as NAPLAN, teachers will need to develop their skills and understanding of the assessment practice. Leadership is an essential factor in using data to inform practice on a school and system level. Leadership is an essential factor in using data to inform practice. As Skipcamp and Cooper states, creating vision, norms and goals for data use is the role of the school leader. The report also highlighted that data has become part of school culture. For teachers to have this belief about data being done by and for the school, this has to be embedded by the leadership team. However, Wayman suggests that school leaders must not only model the use of data, but establish conditions that support and encourage teachers to grow in their use of the system. Skillcamp and Cooper support this view and state school leaders should use data to shape professional development activities for teachers. Reports by Tutens and Devos and Sharrett and Fullen state the importance of having a good relationship between the school leader and teachers, as this is the key to motivate our teachers. The use of data to provide feedback to students. Providing effective feedback based on assessments to students is an essential part of teaching. The literature states feedback can be understood as information provided to students about their performance. In Australia, schools are implementing the feedback and feed-forward approach. Hadding and Timberlake highlighted that effective feedback must answer 3 questions. Where am I going? How am I going? And where to next? The literature states feedback should promote students' actual use of information and offer information that contributes to the satisfaction of the student's basic need to feel competent. Hattie's report states that feedback is effective when it enhances self-regulation. However, Klonowski and Wyatt-Smith states that high-stakes standardised assessments, such as NAPLAN, provide limited data for teachers to inform their practices due to the time frame between the administration of the assessment and the provision of data. Schute's report states that a delay in feedback reduces proactive interference and thus allowing the initial error to be forgotten. Trends in policy affect the use of evidence in education to make decisions. An ongoing issue that has been debated by policymakers is the use of data, such as high-stake test results. Through the No Child Left Behind Act, passed in 2001, policymakers in the US have endorsed educators to use data to inform their practice. William agrees that the use of high-stake tests will improve educational outcomes, and these policies have some meaningful success in student achievement. In contrast, Skillcamp and Cooper's report found that schools in the Netherlands have an inspectorate to hold schools accountable for their education, and use this data as a way of monitoring any improvement. Policy making in Australia has become increasingly national with the development of the national curriculum and testing. Within Australia, the government has used this performance data for school accountability, and NAPLAN data is believed to lead to improved outcomes. However, the literature suggests that if schools in Australia are seen as underperforming, support and financial assistance is offered. Yet, in comparison to the US, where the No Child Left Behind Act brought out threats of staff replacements instead. In summary, due to the vast amount of technology, tools are required for the effective use of data. It is clear that educators respond to accountability policies, although how these policies influence instruction is disputed. By having a strong leadership team and providing educators with the knowledge and skills on how to use data through professional development opportunities, this will enhance students' learning.